month old. What were you doing at 3?
I was sponging off the folks.
and he has a repertoire of about 5,000. Is it repertoire, sir?
Repertoire.
Repertoire of 5,000 songs. Mel is appearing at Michael's Pub, where he just got this rave review through October the 13th. His new CD is called Velvet and Brass. And and then they used to call you the Velvet Fog. You didn't like the Velvet Fog.
No, I didn't.
Now, why would that be offensive?
Well, because it was gimmicky, and I don't like gimmicks.
Right.
But it was hung on me by a disc jockey named Fred Robbins.
Right,
and once he hung that on me, it stuck like glue. Now, I used to be very abrasive about that. But then all of a sudden, in recent years, people have come to me and said, gee, we grew up with you, and you're the Velvet Fog. And I suddenly thought, what am I being such a louse about this for?
Right. What's the difference?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? It's not the Velvet. If it was the Velvet Frog, then you've got a problem. But I always thought, because I remember you as the Velvet Fog, I said, hey, that's a nice description of the velvet thing. I mean, velvet, the velvet.
The velvet is what helps.
Not Velvet Frog.
That takes the curse off of it, velvet.
No,
very clear.
Yeah.
I am open to gifts.
You are open to
I'm
gifts.
open to gifts.
Well,
You've got a gold watch.
Yeah, but I just meant legislature. If you're working for the government, well, you'd probably still be open. Look at you. You look like a guy that would take more things. You probably have a half a dozen gifts.
Oh, yes.
Already.
I love gifts.
You're just the kind of guy we nail in the monologue.
And I would also like to mention, I don't think it's important.
No.
But I'd like to mention the fact that I did date several times Donna Mills.
You did.
I took her out.
Now what's this thing? Is this a thread?
Oh, it's just a little antenna.
It's one of your gifts.
We'll hide it away.
Well, did you see when Donna was on the other
Yes,
night?
I did.
And I had to have Clay sit here and say, Donna, please.
That was incredible.
Because Donna comes in with the blonde hair and the red dress, and Donna can say hello, and you're like, you're full of water.
She's a pretty lady, and a very nice girl, by the way.
And she's got Donna Mills Productions, and you have Mel Tormé Productions.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you're probably are you considering that exercise tape, which I suggested to you?
You did talk to me about that.
I said,
didn't
because a lot of people do an exercise video, and you could do an exercise video for people that aren't that interested in losing weight.
Well, I could exercise my throat. I could do vocal exercises. How about that?
How about an exercise video for people that aren't that interested in getting into shape?
Not a bad idea.
And say, look at me. Look at me. I'm an example of someone who hasn't worked that hard to do this. And and you could
I could sit there with a 1 pound dumbbell in my hand, going, this will build a muscle.
Or about just reach for a donut.
Hey, now you're talking. I'm a donut fanatic.
You are?
Yes,
See that? I said something about that.
Yeah.
And we only have 45 seconds, but somebody, before we go to the break, somebody tobacco down you? How old a kid were you at that
I was
time?
about 9, 10 years old.
So you'd been singing for 6 years by then.
Yes, I had been. But this guy stuffed tobacco down my throat. And you're right. He was the best friend I ever had, because I never smoked a cigarette in my life. I don't drink either.
Really?
And I think it's one of the reasons my throat's in reasonably bad shape.
Right. You don't drink. So if you feel tense, what do you do?
Go to a movie.
You do.
I'm a movie fanatic. And just like Ernie, I got to tell you, as much as I love you on this show, and you are terrific on this show, I love your movie roles.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't want to interrupt Mel, but we're going to a break. And we're going to come right back, and Mel is going to sing, and then we'll talk some more. Be right back. Accompanied by Mel Tormé singing I Get a Kick
from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. Tell me, why should it be true? I get a kick out of you. Some like that perfume from Spain. I'm sure that if I took even one whiff, it would bore me terrifically too. I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time I see you standing there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to me you obviously don't adore me. I get no kick in a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. I get a kick, you give me a boot, I get a kick out of you. Such as it is.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Now, Mel.
Yes.
When you got up and you knew you were going to do this show today, or maybe when you appear at Michael's Pub currently, and you got the this is great, the dark blue, the shirt, the tie, the blue offset, the thing, the pant. Get a shot of Mel's socks. You're a guy. You've appeared. I mean, everywhere. Now, give me the. Maybe I should be wearing white socks or gray.
These aren't white socks.
No,
they're gray
socks.
They're
gray socks. Yeah.
With the little stripe right there.
Oh, the stripe at the top. Is that Is that on the sock?
Yeah, it's on the socks, not on my leg.
Right.
I love these socks, and I kind of like this look.
So you're saying that you can wear well, of course the pants are gray, so I guess that's the. Would you say that socks, Mel? Did you want to?
Socks make the man.
No, would you when you pick your sock? It's really what I meant, because I want to get serious for a minute.
Yeah.
When you pick your sock, are you matching your pants, or are you matching your jacket?
No, I'm matching the pants.
You match your pants.
Absolutely matching.
So if you had black pants, you would not wear those.
I would wear blue socks with this blue jacket.
Are you telling me, Mel, and I want to be serious now,
yes.
Are you telling me that if you wear black pants, you would go with blue socks?
Oh, no, black pants, black socks.
Oh, when did you say? You said blue before.
If I were wearing this blue jacket with another pair of pants, I would wear blue socks to match the blue jacket.
What other pair of pants would make you wear blue socks to match the blue jacket?
Well, I could wear checked pants. Black and white check.
Do you wear black and white check
Yes,
pants?
I do, as a matter of fact.
And are you considered a well-dressed person? Or?
I am considered one of the best-dressed people in my block.
Is that right? In your whole block?
In my whole block.
So
Coldwater Canyon. That's
a big block.
That's a big block. You're right.
And so we're okay with that, even though the socks are lighter than the pants. That's all right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, should I consider you an authority on this, or someone leading me down the wrong road?
I wouldn't consider me an authority on this. No. I mean, if you really want to be fair, Charlie.
Yeah.
I would look at me and say, why the hell is he wearing these gray socks? I mean,
well, that's where I started. Because let's face it, you've made some. I read actually about you never went under 6 figures, so you could probably get any color socks you want.
I can't afford to have a variety.
We're not talking about any size boat necessarily, but any color socks.
Absolutely.
Mel Tormé ones.
Absolutely, there's no question about that.
And maybe even any material.
Well, I don't know. But,
but
certainly socks.
No, I mean any material, like cashmere socks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Feel these socks.
Oh, that's cashmere,
That's
right?
cashmere socks.
I like those,
Yeah, those are cashmere. Now, see,
matter of fact, I like the color of these socks.
These are black socks.
Well,
my foot is stuck under your chair.
They wouldn't work. They wouldn't work with this jacket. Otherwise, I'd ask you to take them off, and I would wear them.
So when you appear, do you appear in gray socks?
No. When I appear in black or blue socks. Mm-hmm. Sometimes only black or blue socks.
So is it fair to say?
Sometimes.
Well, that's an interesting appearance
yes,
right
it's
there.
interesting.
Is it fair to say that the reason, and I'm doing this, ladies and gentlemen, because sometimes we just have to get a little deeper here. Is it fair to say that the reason you're wearing these gray socks is you thought they'd be under the coffee table?
No, not necessarily. I felt that the camera would pick them up and that I would wear them with my cordovan shoes. Again, cordovan shoes with a blue jacket, gray slacks.
The shoes are fantastic.
Love the shoes. And I personally, I know this is going to come as a blow.
Yeah.
I like the socks. I like the socks.
I like the
Charlie.
socks too.
I'm not copping out. I like the socks. I didn't put them on because my black and blue socks weren't clean.
No, I know.
I have a drawer full of clean socks.
I know you do.
But I just like these socks, and I felt you'd greet them warmly.
Socks, and we're coming to the end of our time, but I think this is important to say. I like the socks too. I like the socks very much. I'm not talking about the socks. I'm talking about the socks in conjunction with the rest of the ensemble.
With the rest of the ensemble.
Yeah, that's where I'm raising the question. I'm not even raising a question. It was a question. It wasn't not necessarily a statement.
Well, you've got me thinking. You've got me thinking. I tell you, boy, I'll walk out of here and I'll get into the car going back to the hotel and I'll go, geez, should I have worn these socks for God's sake? So you've got me.
Well, that's what we try to do here. We try to get people thinking at the beginning of the show about, you know, no gifts for the lobbyists,
right.
And at the end of the show about take a hard look at your socks, ladies and gentlemen. Just make sure you're doing the right thing. How much time do we? Look, Wayne is looking at. What colors are your socks? Oh my God, these are white socks.
You've got white socks on,
white
Wayne.
Socks. Well, we come to the end of this, and sometimes, as I say, we try to be, you know, maybe aren't addressed other places in the culture.
Well, you've illuminated me,
and I appreciate that. And you've illuminated us with your singing and your wit, and it's a great pleasure. And Mel's at Michael's Pub, and Ernest Borgnine is on The Single Guy on NBC at 8:30 before Seinfeld, right? And stay tuned for Real Personal with Bob Berkowitz, and we've come to the end of this. I want to thank you.
Did you really shoot that scene in the back of his car?
In the back of a van. Thank you for watching. Good night, Mom. Love you. Good night.